Hey everybody, hope you're doing well. Genesis7 here, welcome back to the channel, and in today's video we're going to be talking about Persona 5 Royal, and in particular the Nintendo Switch version. But before we get into anything, I've got to thank SEGA / Atlus for providing me with a copy of the game so I can get some kind of footage together for you. Nothing spoily here, it's just me going through mementos and gather my thoughts and opinions for this video. So again, thank you to SEGA and Atlus for supporting the channel. Now, tackling this video, I'm going to break it up. I think I'm going to start off with what everyone wants to know, because finally it has come to the Nintendo Switch. So we're going to talk about the Switch version, and then after that I'm probably going to try and sell you on the game, because this is my third time playing. I played the base version on the PlayStation 3, played Royal when it came to PlayStation 4, and here we are again. So they may be a little bit biased when I'm kind of like talking about the game in general, but it's unavoidable really, because I love this game. So the Nintendo Switch, I think just hearing the words Persona 5 Royal on the Nintendo Switch is making a lot of people happy, and looking at the Metacritic, the game is just where it needs to be, and it's fantastic that it's keeping that high score being on the Nintendo Switch, and I agree. I totally agree. Let's talk about performance and what we're getting with the Nintendo Switch version. First, this is the Royal versions. It's building on the base game of Persona 5, so you get an extra story, extra characters, extra confidants, extra personas, a challenge mode, extra places to go, just so much items. It's crazy how much content you're getting, and for the price that this game is going to be, it is worth it straight off the bat. So that's what you're getting when you purchase Persona 5 Royal on the Switch. But how does it perform? I've been playing it on handheld, and it's been a barrel of a time. Graphically, it looks untouched. I guess if anything, you could compare it to how it looked on the PlayStation 3, and that isn't a knock on it at all. It looks fantastic in handheld, and then when you hook it up to the dock and play it on the TV, it looks just as good. There's no faults graphically. Now, frame rate, I think it's just a steady locked 30 frames per second. I think if you want 60 frames per second, and if you're into that kind of stuff, you can purchase it on the PlayStation 5 and the Xbox Series. I think this game, being a turn-based game, is fine at 30 frames per second. There is a few drops in certain like textures around in the dungeons, and just little effects here, but it's really not that noticeable. But I'm bringing it up for you kind of people that might be swayed with those little things. But performance is great. Load times, I don't notice any kind of difference. I'm sure if you were to put them side by side, especially with the PlayStation 5 version, there may be a few seconds difference, but it really isn't like a problem. It isn't a problem. This is like the perfect kind of way to play this game. And I guess when we're talking about ports like Nier Automata, this is really a perfect port. There's no issues with it. It's just, I think we're all going to be happy that we're finally playing this on a handheld. It's on the Switch. We've been waiting for it for ages, and it's here. And I don't really have much else to say, except that it's probably is, like my thumbnail says, the definitive way to play Persona 5 Royal. That being said though, there are a few issues that are personal to me that I've come across, and you may come across them too. So obviously, playing in handheld mode a lot, I just kind of put the console in rest mode when I'm not playing. Now with Persona 5 Royal, you have network features where you can see what other players have done when it comes to choices to do in your day. So when you go into sleep mode, essentially what you're doing is disrupting that network connection. So every time you load it back up, you're having to read the error message for the Nintendo Switch, read the error message in game, and then you are needing to turn the network features back on if you require them. So that can be quite a bit of a finicky thing. Not too big, but something that's been prominent every time I take my Switch out of rest mode and continue on with the game. And the other issue is, it might just be me, it might just be my hearing, but this game sounds just a little bit quieter compared to the rest of the games that I've been playing on the Switch recently, because this game has a fantastic soundtrack. So I'm trying to like listen in my earphones, but this game just sounds a little bit quiet. I don't know if it's just me. Maybe I'm getting a bit old and this game is just not kind of reaching the insides of my ears. but it seems a little bit quiet, and they're my only complaints. So for those that just wanted to know how it was on the Nintendo Switch, there you go. I'll catch you guys on the flip side. But for you guys that are sticking around and kind of just want me to just want to listen to me praise the game, or maybe you want to listen and see if there's something I might be wrong about and we can have a bit of a discussion about, then feel free and stay with me till the end of the video. So I'm not going to touch on the story because in itself, Persona 5 has a fantastic story, but I will read you just a little bit of the synopsis just to kind of get you to grips with what you're dealing with. Forced to transfer to a high school in Tokyo, the protagonist has a strange dream. You are truly a prisoner of fate. In the near future, ruin awaits you. With the goal of rehabilitation, I can't say this word, guys. With the goal of rehabilitation, I'll roll with that, looming overhead, he must save others from distorted desires by donning the mask of a phantom thief. So yeah, that's all I'm going to touch on with the story. Now let's talk about gameplay very briefly. This is kind of like you have the dual life. You have the school life, where you kind of decide and kind of boost your social stats, and then you have the Phantom Thief side, where you are going into people's distorted desires, exploring dungeons, and getting your traditional turn-based JRPG experience. And in a nutshell, these are really well done. So I will leave gameplay right there and move on to presentation. And Persona 5 Royal's presentation is amazing, just from the way it looks, the menus, the sound effects, the kind of like transitions, and everything else in between. Fantastic. Music is a banger. Honestly, the whole soundtrack is a banger. You'll love this soundtrack, from the battles, from just the scenes where you're chilling out in a classroom. This is a fantastic soundtrack, and I highly suggest that you kind of like purchase a soundtrack for yourself and give it a listen. And I think I'm going to call it there when going over the game, because I feel like there is a reason why this game is where it is on Metacritic for all versions, including this Nintendo Switch version. And if you're a turn-based JRPG fan, this is a must-buy. If you've been sleeping on it ever since it's been released and you have a Nintendo Switch, this is the time. And for the people that want to double dip or even triple dip, go for it, because the experience, it just feels different playing it on the Nintendo Switch. I think that the ability to just play it anywhere and everywhere, like a game like this should be played, I think, is a merit in itself. So I've just kind of done my part. Yes, I've been a little bit biased, but I know that you guys just really wanted to know about the Nintendo Switch version. That being said, I do thank you for your time. I hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know your thoughts and opinions on Persona 5 Royal as a whole in the comment section below. But remember, this is a game that's story driven with twists and turns, and my first time experiencing that story was amazing, and I don't want people that are playing this for the first time's experience to be ruined by people talking about spoilers in chat. So please keep it clean. Just let us know your opinions on the game, get the comment section moving, and again, thank you for watching, and until next time, I'll catch you on the flip side.